I want to talk a little bit about working with capacity. Capacity is how much a container can hold. Um, Essentially, it is the volume of a container. The difference between capacity and volume is everything has volume. If volume is the amount of space something takes. Capacity is the amount something can hold. So not every object can hold something. So for example, a solid brick doesn't have capacity because you can't put anything in it. But if it can, typically we say our capacity is just the volume of the container. And this is something we often use with liquid measures. So in the SI unit, your basic unit is the liter. And 1 liter is 1/1000th of a cubic meter, or 1,000 cubic centimeters. So that's kind of our equivalent there. Um, Transferring between imperial, or converting between imperial and SI, 4 quarts, or sorry, this is just imperial. 4 quarts is 1 gallon, 2 pints is 1 quart, and 2 cups is 1 pint. You won't come across these very much unless you're baking, in which case you will come across these quite a bit if you use American cookbooks or websites to find your recipes. So the one confusing thing about the gallon is there's 2 different sizes. In Canada, we use the British gallon, which is about 4.5 liters. And 1 pint is 20 fluid ounces. If you go down to the States, a gallon is about 3.8 liters, and 1 pint is 16 fluid ounces. So little difference there. And so when you're doing your questions, make sure you're checking to see whether it's the British gallon, or the ones we use in Canada, or the American gallon, the US gallon, because they're slightly different, and your conversion rate is going to be different depending on what you're doing. As far as recipes go, 1 teaspoon, 5 milliliters. 1 tablespoon, 15 milliliters. 1 cup is 250 milliliters. It's actually 237, but we usually just use 250 just because it rounds nicer. So let's look at example 3. Let's make it a little bigger here. Okay, so in example 3, we've got Paula opening a French bakery, and she wants to make authentic French crepes, or recipes, sorry. All the recipes are in metric units, but she has imperial measuring devices. So the creme brulee recipe requires 500 milliliters of cream and 1.25 milliliters of vanilla. So how much cream will she need in cups? Well, we saw that 1 cup was the same as 250 milliliters. And we have 500 milliliters, so we're going to put that on the bottom with the 250. And how many cups is that? Well, X is going to be 500 divided by 250, because we're going to take 500 times 1 divided by 250, and that is 2 cups. When you're doing converting, pretty much the rule of thumb, like with a conversion, almost 100% of the time, we're going to have 1 unit is equal to a certain number of a different kind of unit. If, say for example, we knew how many cups, and we were trying to solve for milliliters, the things that are diagonal we multiply. So if the two numbers, if the conversion rate is opposite the number we're given, we multiply. If it's on the same side, so they're both milliliters, typically we divide. So it's just a little thing to make it easier. So she needs 2 cups of cream. That was kind of a weird place to write that. Anyway, B, how much vanilla will she need in teaspoons? Well, she needs 1.15 milliliters, and 1 teaspoon, teaspoon, what is going on with this today? 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliters, we saw on the previous page, and we've got 1.25 milliliters, and we need to know how many teaspoons that is. Let's move this down a little bit. So we've got X is equal to 1.25 times 1 divided by 5. And that is going to give us 1/4 of a teaspoon, or 0.25 teaspoons. Or you could say 1/4. So she needs 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. And then the last question says, how much cream will she need in fluid ounces? I believe we had that conversion, did we not? Fluid ounces, 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 ounces. 20 fluid ounces in a pint, 16 fluid ounces. Here we would be using this one, 16 fluid ounces, and 1 pint is 2 cups. Anyways, it's not here for whatever reason. 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces, which if 2 cups is 16, then 1 cup would be 8 fluid ounces. So when we're talking about our American measurements. So how much cream will she need in fluid ounces? Well, she has 500 milliliters of cream. She also has 2 cups. So 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. And we know she needs 2 cups of cream. And that would be how many fluid ounces? So here we can see we've got our x, and the two numbers are crossing each other, so we're going to multiply them. 8 times 2, so x equals 16. So she needs 16 fluid ounces. And we could have also looked at that and said, well, 2 cups is the same as 1 pint. 1 pint is 16 fluid ounces, so that's how much it is. At any rate, that is what she needs for her recipe.